why would a controlled opposition be necessary? What would be the purpose of one? What can you accomplish with one? Well, I think you could accomplish a lot. You could steer something that's kind of potentially catastrophic for the plans of the elite and move it in the direction you want it to go. But in order to do so, you would have to lead the opposition. Mark would always say, there's no shills in the flat earth. And I just thought, well, that's exactly what a shill would say, and I can't really wrap my mind around it. How lazy would the government be to not be involved in it, just to let it go wild, loose end after loose end everywhere, people they don't have tabs on? It's like, no, I would think they would want to shepherd it, lead it, have their followers follow them. And they were always pushing to get it into the media. And it's like, dude, you know what's going to happen. And then when you try to call it out, they would like insult you, call you like a hater. And, it's like, okay, this whole like TFE kind of opened a can of worms in a way where people are like considering it now. But there was guys like 8-9 years ago calling out these people.
So addressing the people who keep claiming that certain people can't be shills because of all the work they do, you also got to think about all the people they've turned away from Flat Earth because of the hit pieces they've been involved with, such as Behind the Curve and TFE, etc. Claiming that we're being negative and we need to stop is just allowing the shills to continue hurting the community and grifting off of the community while they lead everybody away from the truth about cosmology, Jesus, and then to the occult.
My degree, my undergrad degree.
Okay, all right. Now, Andrew's not an agent. Andrew's at the tinfoil sombrero.
Yes.
Andrew, I remember Andrew.
Wait, someone called me a fucking agent?
They're like, is Andrew an agent? I'm like, nah.
No, I'm a flat earther. I've done my own tests.
Yeah, but listen.
Yeah, no one's got time for that kind of shit. If you want to call me a fucking agent, go for it. If you want to call Ironwork an agent, fucking go for it. But
ain't nobody calling me no agent.
No, I'm just saying anybody. You want to start calling anyone an agent. Okay?
I was gonna say, ain't nobody call me.
No. Well, if you want to call me Vlad or try things, who doesn't matter. It's your time is being wasted, and I'm inside your head free of charge. So fuck you if that's how you're going to be thinking about people.
Like I heard Lowry say, this guy's not an agent. I've been to his house. I sat on his couch. It's like, yeah, okay, there you go. Like, agents don't have homes. I bet you they don't have dining room tables. They wake up in a casket and they turn into a bat and fly over to a castle at night, right? Like, no, they're humans. They have pictures on the wall. They eat food, just like us. There's nothing different about them, other than they are being deceptive. They have a secret job. I don't know if it's CIA, FBI, ADL, DOD. Yeah, he gave me $1. I had a beer with him. He's not an agent. We ate together. He let me sit on his couch. No way. That's my friend.
So who gives a damn if we were all CIA shills? It wouldn't matter in the slightest.
So shout out to Andrew B. I don't know if he's a shill. I don't think he's a shill. I haven't the only time I've seen Andrew B is on the tinfoil sombrero. Does this motherfucker look like a G-man? Yes, he looks like he works for the government like a motherfucker, right? But then again, I work for the government. Look at me. I work for these motherfuckers big time. You know what I'm saying? I was working for these dudes. But yeah, I ain't one of them motherfuckers though. So whatever, it is what it is. Oh, no. Then why you should be able to see and smell them. Wait, hey, here's my thing. Awakened Nemesis. I can't just sit there and just call somebody a shill, right? Because I've been wrong about motherfuckers before. So I don't I can't, because if I call one a shill, I might as well call all a shill. But my thing is, when I see something that I find fishy and I call question to, we bring them up here and then we discuss these things. You understand what I'm saying? And my thing is because I'll form my own opinion, but I don't want like there's certain things that I have my own opinion, but I do not even voice them because I don't want to put my opinions on you because I think that's unfair. I totally am not in that. That's how I roll. You know what I'm saying? There are people out there that I feel are shills. I don't want to just be like, I think he's a shill. Maybe in private company, then I'll be like, yeah, I don't trust that motherfucker. There were people out there. David Weiss, he asked me straight up how I feel about him, and I told him straight up. I was honest with him. I didn't lie to him. Right? I told him I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And he asked me why, and I told him why. And I told him straight up, like I didn't hide anything from him. I didn't hide my, throw stones and hide my hand. It was me being based off of my observations. But I kind of alluded to that, saying what I said when I saw the results of TFE and I saw the results of the TFE and how people were interacting with one another and how he was defending Jared and Witsit and stuff. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't like that.
Yeah, with the people that we've been shown that are defending the final experiment, these are the people that keep hanging together. You can see them a mile away because they just flock together. Like when you go on to Mark Sargent's and you got your DJ Curious and your Patricia Steers and your Kemi, your Karen B's and your Andrew B's and even Lowry and Nicole. They're always hanging around those people. They're like playing both sides, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
we gotta.
You know what's wild about that is Larry used to be like almost like a regular on my show, and I ain't got no smoke, right? But a lot of people did not appreciate him. Like he would mention Jaren's name. He'd be like, Jer, and then people would be like, you'd see the chat light up. Jer, who the fuck you calling Jer? Who's Jer? Jer? I said, God, dog, man. And they did not appreciate him at all. And I was like, well, let him, I was like, let him talk. I didn't know, I didn't even know it like that. All I knew was I didn't like what Jaren did, and I just wanted away from him. I didn't know what the other connections were. People had to put me on game for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I just remember Lowry from Sov's channel, and when Sov was going after TFE and really digging, Lowry was still defending Jaren, like he was like the last one to get it. And I understand people could be the last one to get it because I guess he felt they were friends and they knew each other personally and all this. Yeah. But it's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I went to his barbecue a month ago, man. I was at his barbecue. You for real? Not him? No. I had he made me oatmeal.
Even Crumb, like don't follow Crumb. They just all flock together anymore. And it's like if you're letting Karen B hang out and they're all having a good time, you're guilty by association in my book. We see you, man, and you're sitting on the fence and can't make you can't stand your ground or have an opinion without stepping on somebody's toes, and that's sus to me.
First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Karen B and Ted. And to some extent, some other people who put on events before that. We've been able to learn a lot about what actually happens, at these events and what they are. And, Karen put in a shit ton of work, putting on Flattober for shout out, baby. And, I know there's a lot of work put into like the international conventions and that sort of thing. There's some people involved with some of those that maybe we don't talk to anymore. It doesn't matter. Lineup was absolutely spectacular, and it bums me out that we can't do this, but here it is. Special thanks to especially the streamers that wanted to come early on Friday, and to Sovereign Soul and Jane Mine. He was going to host a panel that was going to be really big on Friday. Mark Sargent and DJ from Strange World, they were going to do a broadcast from 8 to 10 on Friday. Thank you guys. We had Isa, who does killer music like from our community. Much thanks for committing to the Friday. Saturday, Vlad over at Ironwork 92,000, thank you so much for committing, and we'd like to have you at another event if that happens. And then Marty Leeds was after him. Thank you, Marty, for committing to it.
Marty, you got to come on.
Yeah, maybe Marty wants to come on the panel. Maybe that'd be fun. Crumb, thank you so much. And Chief Crow and Flat Earthworms, it was going to be so spectacular. The lineup was killer. And I kind of fought against the other three principals on this. I voted to get into July and find a fifth venue. And that was my emotions. My emotions wanted it to happen. The people with the purse strings, more pragmatic than me, said, don't do it. This has happened before. So
or if anything, go later, not earlier.
We're asking. And also, lastly, Dr. Law for the food, and that's the last one. And then, and as far as I'm concerned, in my mind, I wanted it to happen. I thought the lineup was spectacular, but we talked to so many people that have done events in the past, and Weiss was coming too. Everybody was coming. And between the various people that I talked to, Rick Hummer wanted to do a bigger thing, more akin to, these giant conventions with a lot of speakers and a lot of sit down and a lot of, education. And I was like, I'm not sure we're ready to do that yet. I'm not sure that we have the resources to pull off something like that. But we've been very fortunate to have some good friends out there in the community that we stayed with. And we really, really appreciate
and Zach and Liz and Joanna and Karen and Ted and Nathan, Commercial Sound and Video, NDB, no Stan, Sav, Vlad, Uncle Sav.
Thanks for ruining my right ear, Vlad. that snub 9mm, that's serious business. The AR-15 I can handle. I shot that one fine, but the snub, forget about it, dude. I'm in headphones from here on out next time I shoot.
Oh gosh, I don't know. And I don't know if there's anybody that I forgot, but everybody's going to be getting thank you cards. We have all of your addresses.
Crum and Emily, did you say Crum and Emily?
Crum and Emily, I'm saving the best for last.
Yeah.
And if this is bad, blame David Weiss. He's the guy that was like, "Hey, you need a show. You're pretty funny."
And I can hear you. Oh,
I think what they saw was real. I think they were in a real place. I believe that the footage that I've seen was totally authentic, and I also think that it is going to look like it's fake because we've never been in an environment like that and shot like that. It's not an easy place to photo shoot, but like studios here in the continental US, for instance, they have lighting that replicates pure white light. Mm-hmm. So it's going to look fake.
Am I back?
Even though it's
You're
real.
back.
You're back.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear you, Nico.
Nice point.
Yeah.
So David's back.
You were on a rant there.
Be worse,
there was I think just to get my arms around the last 3 weeks is that what we have now I've got 50 videos that I can't even fit on my computer yet. I'm trying to work with them as best as I can. We looked at an hour and a half of the raw footage Friday night, which turned into just a spectator sport of Jerry Springer. But then we started again today. We got through another hour and a half, which was better. We kept the panel lower. So we've got raw footage. So they were walking around. It looks like, it'd be hard. I'm not saying they could fake it, but it'd be really hard to fake it. And Nicole, having worked in film for photography and film for 20 years, she couldn't find a thing that was wrong with their footage landing in there. And she went through a ton of it.
I am a never-ending earther.
I love it.
I just don't.
You know what? That Freemason video really hit home for me. It really did. Something just.
It's 33 degrees in New York.
Oh, 33. Illuminati confirmed.
Just keeps coming.
It's still there.
It's still there.
Okay. And I love that you on Strange World, you got to tell us how much shit you got for saying it was everyone got the free 33 million dumb. Just in line with our 33rd episode, I'm gonna point it out.
Yeah, it was literally 32,987,000 or something like that. Was the number that equaled $10. We wanted to make the giveaway worth $10, and I was like, why don't we just round up 33? And then we were going to do it like at the end of the month or something. I forget what the date was. I go, why don't we just do it on 9/11? Let's go a little farther. I go, that way it'll cause a buzz. It caused a buzz, man. And then who knows if the biblical sun does circle around there. Hey, maybe there is circling suns out there. Infinite number of circling suns with 100,000 times the number of continents that we have, right? Who knows? But that, to me, matches God's Bible, matches God's created earth.
Wait 1 second before you have the stage. I think you should update all of your bios to just say, it's Jaron. I'm just shilling.
I'm just shilling.
I actually bought a shirt that says shill.
Like, oh, you're a shill. You're on Netflix. And I'm like, look at what I said. Go watch the words that came out of my mouth. I wasn't like, hey, all our flat earthers, we're down to the lodge every weekend. Like this, you know what I mean?
Dude, it was awesome. You were hilarious.
We have to make up a secret handshake, you guys. We need a secret handshake.
Unreal.
No, but this is Masonic, right? This.
It is a Masonic.
Even though we're like,
thing.
what other hand signal could you make if you're a flat earther like this?
I go west side. I'll do whatever gang signs I want to throw up for flat earth. I'll do this one. You don't own my hands.
I'm kind of a mod in Sarge's chat, and I'm kind of a mod in Sarge's chat, and
apparently she was part of like Thelema and wasn't really deaf, dumb, or blind, and so a lot of the things we do, like is not just a coincidence that it looks like I'm mirrored, but it looks like 3 6s, and she said, I love you, and apparently there's a whole rabbit hole there that's pretty fun.
Well, if you don't know what it means and you just know that it means okay to you, then you're not in the wrong. It's just like this too.
Oh,
this
it's this.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever done that in a picture unless someone just made me do it.
Like,
what is that? This is like, what is this? What is this exactly?
This is mass. Like, do you want to talk about photography symbolism? Because I can talk about that.
You guys are getting the Freemason stuff. They also have like the hand where they just put like part of their
the hidden hand goes into their thing or whatever.
They also do the quiet thing. basically meaning you're not supposed to talk about what's actually going on. Otherwise, the penalty is basically death.
It's death.
Well, yeah, there was a guy that did like a
And if this is bad, blame David Weiss. He's the guy that was like, hey, you need a show. You're pretty funny.
It's called networking. Just remember, the people that you hang out with is who you become. So,
That's right.
birds of a feather flock together. So, pick your friends carefully.
Nathan Thompson is a good example of why you can't just go by the outward appearance of all the things somebody does for a flat earth. He does spend many hours in TikTok. He's done a lot of debates. He puts out the flat earth flyers. He does meetups in many areas, and he's been at the conventions. But then you'll have these shows turn around and be involved in hit pieces like Behind the Curve or Stacking Toilet Paper to the Moon.
Everyone's super convinced that I got trolled. Of course, I hope I wasn't, but I don't care if I was.